Arjun, you've just come back from Kuari Pass, and if I'm not wrong, your point of view changed quite a bit after doing the Kuari Pass trek. So what really stood out for you on this trek?
Swati, two things stood out for me on this trek, but I'll come to it one after the other. One is, of course, the big mountain views that you see on Kuari Pass trek. I mean, everybody talks about seeing Nanda Devi on Kuari Pass trek. Of course, you see Nanda Devi and you see it in all its glamorous glory. I mean, you see it totally up close, very near, entire outline. But you also see other big mountains which are not very much talked about on the Kuari Pass trek. And not only you see them very close. I mean, you're on the meadows, on the Gorson Bugyal, and it's just across the valley. And now, I'll tell you what's special about these big mountains. I mean, there are big mountains in other treks, but on Kuari Pass trek, these are isolated big mountains. So, you see the Dronagiri, and Dronagiri is an isolated mountain. You see Nilkant, it's isolated. You see the Hathi Ghoda, it's isolated. I mean, all of them are isolated, big, beautiful mountains, and that is a rarity. I mean, I haven't come across any trek. I mean, we have such great treks in rest of our country. I haven't come across any treks where you see big mountains, all 7,000 meter plus mountains. You see them up close and you see them isolated. People who want to see the biggest mountains of India, you got to do the Kuari Pass trek. As straight as that. And of course, the other things about the Kuari Pass trek which really again took me by a lot of surprise was the forests of the Kuari Pass trek. I mean, I've seen forests on other treks, but the oak forest here, in the way they have been landscaped, it's very undulating. You know, you go here, there's an undulating, you go a little down and then there's again a stretch. So, and the sunlight falling through these trees at any time of the day. I mean, the forests are again a very, very underestimated part of the Kuari Pass trek, and just for the forest probably I would do this trek.
Wow, really? That's saying a lot. And if I'm not wrong, you camp in the forest, right?
Yeah, some of our camps are in the forest, some are out of the forest, but you know, trekking through this forest, that's a huge thing. But the Kuari Pass trek, when you actually go towards the Kuari Pass, even that is a very grand experience because you're right on the ridge. It's kind of a grand show you are on. That whole trek is like someone has kind of put on a grand show for you with big mountains here, big mountains there, and you are on the top, you see forest below, the valley on the other side. It's a very nice feeling.
Wow. And what about the difficulty level? Because you took your little daughter, she's 8 years old. So is it a good trek for children also to go on?
Oh yes, it is. And that's again something which families and parents can look forward to, because parents in our country are wondering which trek to take their children on and to start them off. And I think Kuari Pass would be a very good trek to start them on trekking, and the experience that they would get out of doing a trek like Kuari Pass is going to stay with them for years to come because of its variety and so much of adventure associated with it.
All right. And what is the best time of the year to do this trek?
I think this trek can be done for good 7-8 months of the year.
Wow.
Because it's not a very high altitude trek, yet you get the bonuses of all high altitude trek. So if you leave the monsoon months out and the peak winter, which is January, February, you can probably do the trek in most times of the year.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Arjun, for sharing this with us.
Thanks.